I never updated my studio mics, but I finally did. Hey everyone, Kenji here, and today we are going to be unboxing the TechZone Audio Products Steller X2. So, before we jump into it, I am trying to improve the audio on this channel a little bit more, so you might actually see the studio mic actually inside a lot of the shots instead of trying to hide it. And I think it just might make the sound actually sound a little bit better, and if you need to see the mic so you get better sound, I think it's kind of worth it. So hey, leave me a comment down below if you think that it improves it and you would not mind actually seeing the mic, just so that you can get better audio. So this over here is my new studio microphone. This is from TechZone Audio Products, and it is a large capsule condenser mic. So this requires phantom power. And I do have an audio interface that I've been using for years. I use the Scarlett 2i2 interface by Focusrite. So I should be able to basically just take the second input that I normally use with this guy here, which is a pencil mic. This is a MXL 441. And I normally use this actually as a backup. So I normally record studio recordings, so that way I get a right and left channel, and just in case I run into a problem where one of my channels is actually really terrible, like there's a buzzing sound or something weird like that, I can always use the other channel as a backup and I don't have to throw away the entire video. Just like a couple weeks ago, I actually had a problem where partway through the video I started to get a feedback noise or a buzzing noise inside of this microphone right here. And I was actually lucky that I was able to basically just throw away the entire right channel, which was all from this microphone over here. And then I basically just used all the audio that came from this. So I basically just duplicated the left channel, and then I was back to stereo, and I didn't have that terrible feedback. So the reason why I wanted to upgrade is not necessarily because I ran into the problem with the buzzing noise, although that was one of the things that made me pull the trigger a little bit sooner than I was expecting to. But I've been actually trying to think, hey, if I wanted to do a little bit more voiceovers, get a little bit better audio quality for this channel, maybe I should invest in a slightly better microphone. So I did a lot of different research on the different microphones that are out there, and a lot of people raved about this sounding really good. So you know what, we're going to unbox it. We are going to put it we're going to start recording with it, and hey, I'm going to see what my initial impressions are. So here we go. I'm going to first open it up here, and so as you can tell, this is still inside the plastic wrap, so I have not done anything with this. It isn't like I unboxed it and then repackaged it. Nope, I actually am taking everything off. All right, so I got this guy on Monday. It's actually now Friday, so I've been dying to open this guy all week long, but I finally got a chance to do this unboxing video, so now it's actually finally time. The box came unfortunately a little bit damaged, but I don't think it's going to affect anything. How do I open this? Oh, I need to open it from this side. So, here we go over here. So inside over here, it comes with a case, a metal case to basically hold the microphone. So let's go and take it out, hopefully without dropping it on the floor. All right, so there's nothing else in the box, so let's go and throw this on the ground. All right, here we go. This is the box that it comes with. I like that they actually put the full details of the product right here on the front. So if you have a lot of different audio equipment, that you won't by mistake grab the wrong box, thinking that you're grabbing this mic, but you actually grab a different mic instead. So it's definitely good to know that. So I said that this was a metal box. Turns out it doesn't look like it's fully metal. It looks like just the outside rims are metal, and then the sides over here are made of plastic. Now I'm not sure what's underneath that plastic. but we will see when I open it. Now, the thing is that the thing that's going to be getting most of the wear and tear will be the corners of these boxes. So the fact that they made this out of metal is probably pretty good. And the handle over here is just a nice little... Actually, that's a plastic handle. It's not a metal handle. But anyway, before we actually open this guy up, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the specs on this, just in case you haven't read it. As I said before, this is a large capsule condenser microphone. This actually has a frequency range of 20 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz. And it has a impedance of 140 ohms. And it has a sound sensitivity to negative 31 decibels. So let's go ahead and open this guy. Oh, and one of the most important things that you might want to note is that this microphone over here actually has a self noise of around 13 decibels. And like sometimes people say 12, but in the documentation they actually say 13. But something to note is that the self noise on this microphone over here is actually 20 decibels. So that's actually a pretty significant difference. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how it sounds in real life, because I've watched some of the reviews on this, and whenever they basically try to show what the self noise is on this microphone and almost any other microphone, I never heard it like any sort of self noise. Now I'm sure that you can hear it when you actually are listening to it live, but when I'm actually trying to listen to it on YouTube, and even though I have the quality setting at the highest, I'm listening to it louder, I have decent headphones, and I still don't hear any sort of self noise. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what's going to happen when I listen to the recordings of this microphone compared to this microphone over here, actually with my own recordings. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual unboxing. Here we go. All right, so we have, to start over here, we have a bunch of documentation. The thing on that is on top, let's go and open up this over here to make sure that I'm not going to be revealing anything that I'm not supposed to reveal. I don't think so. So the one thing over here is a signed certificate of testing, actually. So it's actually really cool that not only do they say that this has been quality tested, but they actually have like the check marks that actually looks like it looks like someone actually wrote specifically with their own pen over here, checking off all the different tests that they use for quality assurance, and they have the date that it was tested over here. So it looks like it was in September 13th of 2020, and then they have the signature and some sort of unique ID after that as well. So that's actually really cool that they actually include like the full details of what they tested, and it looks like someone actually took a pen and actually wrote it. They didn't just stamp it on there and like print off all the check marks, making you think that they actually tested it. So it's pretty cool. I heard that this company actually is a relatively small company, and they hand make all their microphones. So that's actually really, really cool. So they have over here some more documentation about the actual microphone. So as I said over here, it's a Steller X2. It's a cardioid pattern. So that's something that is very important to know what type of microphone that you are using. This over here is also a cardioid microphone. So that basically means that the sound is going to be very sensitive in front of the microphone. It's going to be not as sensitive on the side, and not sensitive at all on the back of the microphone. And this Steller X2 microphone is the same. Another thing that is kind of interesting is that they actually show the frequency response curve over here. Now, the interesting thing is that this frequency response curve, they show it to be very, very flat, except where it basically dips down a little bit toward the high end. Over here, dips down a little bit toward the high end over here. Now, this is extremely flat over here in the center, which is kind of interesting that it is that flat, but it's actually pretty cool. And then over here, they have a little quick start guide over here. I don't think I will need the quick start guide, but hey, they actually include it just in case you do. All right, let's go into the next part of it. They have a little pouch over here. It seems to be like a little pleather pouch. It's not made out of leather. At least I don't think it is. Now it's pleather. But nonetheless, it's a little pouch to hold your microphone when you aren't using it. Usually my mics, they live on my mic boom arm because I don't have, 50 billion of these studio mics. I only have this one and the little pencil microphone. So this is giving me my third studio mic. Now after that, they include inside here a little clown nose over here, which is the foam windscreen. And then they have over here the shock mount. So let's go and open up the shock mount. Let's take a look at that. All right, so this over here is one of the squeeze shock mounts over here. So as you can see, kind of take these two sides over here and you squeeze it, and it kind of opens up the side over here. So it makes it a little bit wider so that you can basically squeeze the microphone inside here, and then that way it will cinch close and it'll hold it in place. And should theoretically hold it upside down as well as right side up and things like that. On the bottom over here, they have a screw over here, and the screw actually comes out because they have a 5/8 to 3/8 inch adapter. So as you can see, I'm screwing it off right now. So if you have a 5/8 inch boom arm, you can basically use that screw over here. And then if you only have a 3/8, then you can use this adapter and screw it inside there. So it has a 5 to 3/8 inch arm. And that's actually what I have on my secondary arm right here. So what we are gonna do, let's go ahead and screw this guy on. Then after that, when I pull out the microphone, then we can actually put it on here. So but the quality on here is pretty good. This is all metal. And it has these rubber sort of suspension, these rubber bands on the suspension to prevent shocks from traveling from the boom arm up into the shock mount. The one over here that came with, I think, the MXL 440, they're just like little like nylon rubber bands. This one looks to be like maybe slightly higher quality rubber bands. It's kind of hard to tell, but the ones over here, they look almost like hair ties, like that sort of like wrapped rubber band. Just gonna push this off for a second. All right, and let's go ahead and go on to the next part. All right, so now that I have everything out of the case, let's go ahead and show you the case really quick. So the case over here, it's a nice compact case. Like it has a place for the microphone, place for the shock mount, and a place for the windscreen over here. They probably could have saved a little bit of space if they actually had a way to store the microphone with the windscreen all together inside the case. They probably could have saved a lot of space, but definitely seems to be a pretty decent case to me. And it's gonna, protect the microphone for transport and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and put the case off to the side. Here we go, the actual microphone. I like that they wrap it in plastic just in case there's any water that happens to get into the case and shipping. Wow, this thing is nice. It's really super smooth, and it seems like really refined. Like the metal on it is super smooth. And look at that. That is super nice. The bottom over here is actually, it's like chrome plated over here. And the grill on it is really, really stiff over here. It's really stiff, so I don't think you have to worry about this actually getting damaged if you happen to drop it. Hopefully you won't actually drop it, but it's actually nice and stiff. So it's really good to know. Now let's go ahead and put it onto this arm over here, and let's get this guy plugged in. How about that? So right now on my Scarlett 2i2 interface, I have the Steller X2 over here. I have it set at the 12 o'clock position. Just for your reference, the MXL 440, I have that set at about the 1:30 or 2 o'clock position. So what I want to do is I actually want to be just talking a little bit more and then what I'll do is I'll actually keep switching off between the audio between the MXL 440 over here and the Steller X2. So what I want to do is I will basically put probably maybe up here or up there, I will put which microphone that we are actually listening to. But as I said before, this guy over here is the MXL 440. This one over here is the Steller X2 from the TechZone Audio Products Company. So if you actually have a YouTube studio, or you want to do voiceover or things like that, then it definitely is a good idea to probably get some sort of large capsule condenser mic. Normally, you can actually start out at a pretty cheap range, and the audio interfaces, like the Scarlett 2i2 interface, it's actually not that expensive. I want to say it's somewhere around maybe $130. And like they normally have bundles where you can actually get the Scarlett 2i2 interface along with maybe a microphone or microphone headphones. And so actually having one of these large capsule condenser microphones that uses phantom power, it actually picks up the voice a lot better. Because it seems to be a little bit more natural. It doesn't sound quite so muffled. It doesn't sound quite so boxy like a lot of times lavalier mics, or like a lot of the smaller microphones. They tend to sound a little bit more boxy. They don't really have the full body, like the normal full body sort of voice. And the reason why the large capsule condenser mics tend to work a little bit better is because you physically have a larger capsule, so they tend to be a little bit more sensitive. And the phantom power actually helps with keeping the self noise down a lot. Now, if you don't have an audio interface, as I said before, it's definitely something good to invest in. I mean, you can basically use it for anything from like doing YouTube videos or voiceovers, or you know what? Whenever I'm doing like Zoom calls with other people, I actually have it connected to my computer, and I'm always talking through these microphones over here when I'm on my Zoom calls, and people tend to always tell me that my audio sounds really, really good. And the reason is because I'm actually using a decent microphone. I'm using a USB audio interface, and it just seems to help out a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up, because I just wanted to give a little bit more of a spiel so you can basically hear the difference between my old microphone over here, which is the MXL 440, and my new microphone over here, which is the Steller X2 from TechZone Audio Products. So after I use it for a little while, I do want to give a little bit more of my full review. This is actually just an unboxing, and I've actually never heard it before, so I can't even tell you how much I like the sound of it. But in my full review video, I will definitely be telling you whether I like the sound, I don't like the sound, and some of the settings that I use in order to actually make my sound for my videos actually sound a little bit better. So if you have any questions about this product, or, you know, the Steller X2 or the MXL 440, why I'm switching, blah, blah, blah. If you have any sort of questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I'm always trying to get back to people with any of their questions about any of the equipment that I use. And if they want to buy it themselves, definitely try to use my Amazon affiliate links. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps this channel a lot. I'm really trying to grow this channel, and every single like and every single subscribe actually really helps a lot. So until the next unboxing or next review video, hey, take care.